Hi students, how are you? Due to corona pandemic, we are not in a position to take the classes. Stay home, stay safe. You are in standard 12th now. And the first topic in accountancy is about the accounting for partnership. We need to understand the basic concepts of the partnership and its accounting. You all have learned the final accounts for the sole proprietary concern, sole trading concern. And as you know, the business expands, one needs more capital and larger number of people to manage the business and share its risk. In such a situation, people usually adopt the partnership form of organization. Accounting for a partnership firm has its own peculiarities, as the partnership firm comes into existence when two or more persons come together to establish business and share its profit. On many issues affecting distribution of profits, there may not be any specific agreement between the partners. In such a situation, the provisions of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 applies. Even similarly, calculation of interest on capital. I hope you know what is interest on capital. Then interest on drawings, maintenance of partners' capital accounts have their own peculiarities. Not only that, a variety of adjustments are required on the death of a partner or when a new partner is admitted and so on. These peculiar situations need more specific treatment in accounting that needs to be clarified. Now, this present chapter discusses some basic aspects of partnership, such as a distribution of profits. Normally, you are under impression that partnership is 50-50. It is not always. The ratio might differ. How to maintain the capital accounts, the treatment of situations like admission of partner, retirement, death, dissolution, etc. I'll try to tell you the nature of partnership. As per Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932, partnership is a relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Essential features of partnership. Very simple, when you have a partnership, you have to have two or more persons. There should be at least two or more person coming together for a common goal. In simple words, let's say the minimum number of partners in a firm can be two. There is, however, a limit on their maximum number by virtue of Section 464 of the Companies Act 2013. The Indian central government is empowered to prescribe maximum number of partners in a firm, but the number of partners cannot be more than 100. Please remember, it cannot be more than 100. The central government has prescribed the maximum number of partners in a firm to be 50 under Rule 10 of the Companies Rules 2014. So a partnership firm cannot have more than 50 partners. I'll repeat, the partnership firm cannot have more than 50 partners. Agreement. Partnership is the result of an agreement between two or more persons to do a business and share its profits and losses. It is not just profits, losses also. The agreement becomes the basis of relationship between the partners. It is not necessary that such agreement is in written form. An oral agreement is equally valid. But in order to avoid disputes, it is preferred that the partners have a written agreement. Are you getting it? The third essential feature is business. The agreement should be to carry on some business. Mere co-ownership of a property does not amount to the partnership. For example, like say, if Ajay and Vijay jointly purchase a plot of land, okay, they become the joint owners of the property, but not the partners. But if they are in the business of purchase and sale of land for the purpose of making profit, they will be called partners. The fourth essential feature is mutual agency. The business of a partnership concern may be carried on by all the partners or any one of them acting for all. The statement has two important implications. First, every partner is entitled to participate in the conduct of the affairs of the business. Second, there exists a relationship of mutual agency between all the partners. What is this mutual agency? I'll try to explain. Now, each partner carrying on the business is the principal as well as the agent for all the other partners. He can bind other partners by his acts and also is bound by the acts of other partners with regard to a business of the firm. Relationship of mutual agency is so important that one can say that there would be no partnership if the element of mutual agency is absent. Next, very important essential feature is sharing of profits. Another important element, very important element, The agreement between partners must be to share profits and losses of a business. Though the definition of Section 4 of Indian Partnership Act says it's a relation between people who agree to share the profits of business, the sharing of loss is implied. The sharing of profits and losses is important. If some persons to join hands for the purpose of some charitable activity, it will not be termed as partnership. Is this clear to you? Now, there is something which is called as, this is for your extra knowledge, Limited Liability Partnership, LLP. This LLP is an incorporated partnership formed and registered under the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008 with limited liability and perpetual succession. Why this is being done? It is viewed as an alternative corporate business that provides the benefits of limited liability but allows its partners the flexibility of organizing their internal structure as a partnership based on mutually arrived agreement. Now, what are those salient features? We'll just quickly go through. Its limited liability partnership is a corporate and legal entity separate from its partners. Every LLP shall have at least two partners and shall also have at least two individuals as designated partners, of whom at least one shall be resident of India. The Indian Partnership Act 1932 shall not be applicable to a limited liability partnership. The limited liability partnership has a perpetual succession, and the central government has the power to investigate into the affairs of limited liability partnership if required by appointment of a competent inspector for the purpose. Partnership deed, very important. See the figure which I've shown you here on the stamp paper, partnership deed. See, when your partnership comes into existence as a result of agreement. Amongst whom? Amongst the partners. Now, this agreement can be either oral or written. But the Partnership Act does not require the agreement must be in writing. But wherever it is in writing, the document which contains terms of the agreement is called partnership deed, D-E-E-D. What it contains generally, the details about all the aspects of affecting the relationship between the partners, including the objectives of the business, a contribution of capital by each partner, ratio in which the profits and losses will be shared by the partners, and entitlement of partners to interest on capital, interest on loan, etc. The clauses of partnership deed can be altered with the consent of all the partners. The deed should be properly drafted and prepared as per the provisions of the Stamp Act. Please remember, it's Stamp Act, S-T-A-M-P, Stamp Act, and preferably registered with the registrar of firms. This is a very important part because we are the accounting students. Provisions relevant for accounting. The first provision is about the profit sharing ratio. In case if there is no partnership deed, or even if you have partnership deed, but partnership deed is silent about the profit sharing ratio. Please remember, the profits and losses of the firm are to be shared equally by partners. If there are two, it's 1:1. If there are three partners, 1:1:1. Irrespective of their capital contribution in the firm. Don't go to the capital. For example, if A has contributed 1 lakh, B has contributed 50,000. The ratio is not 2:1. If nothing is specified in the partnership deed, the profit sharing ratio should be equal. I'm clear. Then interest on capital. No partner is entitled to claim any interest on the amount of capital contributed by him in the firm as a matter of right. However, interest can be allowed when it is expressly agreed to by the partners. There's no interest on capital is payable if the partnership deed is silent on the issue. Further, the interest is payable only out of the profits of the business. I'll repeat, only out of the profits of the business. If the losses, you will not pay any interest on the capital. Number 3, interest on drawings. These are the provisions relevant for accounting in case if the partnership deed is silent. Now, there is no interest is to be charged on the drawings made by the partners if there is no mention in the deed. Is this clear? There is no interest to be charged on the drawings if there is no mention in the deed. Interest on advances, loans and advances. If any partner has advanced some money to the firm beyond the amount of his capital for the purpose of the business, he shall be entitled to get an interest on the amount at the rate of 6% per annum. At the rate of 6. Now, I expect you to answer this if you have understood. Please submit your answers on my WhatsApp number. Thank you.